Yes, hello, what is up? Welcome to Motosumo. My name is Ben Parsons, and I'm your instructor, and I am here in the UK, in London specifically, in our UK HQ, ready to take you through your class. This one, team, is your beginner class. So we sort of call it a beginner class, but I like to call it an all levels class, because either it's your very first time at Motosumo and you want to be taking through everything a little bit slower, or it's your first time doing indoor spin, or stationary spin, or stationary cycling, and you want to be taken through that a little bit slower, or you've done loads of classes before and you want to just do a class which brings that intensity down. If you're in all of those brackets, or just one of those, then this is the class for you. I'm going to be doing it with you, so not only am I your instructor, I'm also your co-rider. I'll be doing that same thing with you the entire time. So all you really need to do is just copy me and make sure you listen to what I'm saying. And then we're going to be all good. Cool. So the way we start here at Motosumo is we start those legs moving. And because everyone's got different bodies, everyone's got different bikes, everyone's all over the world, what we want to do is we want to align everyone, and we want to make sure everyone's on that same page. And the way we do that is we bring it down to resistance 0. So I want you to lose every little drop of resistance you've got on your bike. Lose it all, so there's no resistance whatsoever. That, team, is your resistance 0. Now you notice that it is, dare I say, too light. You know what it is. You're not going to gain anything from this. So what we do then is we just add a tiny bit on. We add that little bit of weight under those feet, and that becomes your resistance 1. And that is where we all begin from. That is where we base ourselves from, in that resistance 1. Later on, I'll be talking about different cadences, different resistances, and once we start moving, and once we've gone through a nice little warm-up, we're going to tick off everything like a bit of climbing, bit of sprints, bit of intervals. So it's a bit of an everything class, just so you get a little taster for everything, as well as getting taught and getting taken through at a beginner pace, team. Now we're in that resistance 1. Yes, keeper, what's up? Hello, hello. Now that we're in that resistance 1, I'm gonna put some tunes on, and we're gonna get into it. Are we ready, team? I reckon so. 3, 2, 1. Yes. So there's a few things that I need to talk to you about before we get really warming up. So just want you to keep those legs moving, just at an easy pace so you can start getting into it. You've got two sort of main metrics that we look at. One is your resistance and the other is your cadence. So your resistance, which we sort of described earlier, is basically the weight under your feet. It's basically how heavy it is and how tough it is for you to move those feet around. That resistance 0, what we were at the very beginning, is far too easy. So this resistance 1 is the base. That's the lowest we go in this entire class. It's still easy, but you feel a little bit supported. And we sort of call it our flat road. And we call it our flat road because it should feel like you do when you're cycling along a flat road. So you're not going downhill, you're not going uphill. So it's nice and easy, but you have to move your legs to move forward, obviously. Now, every time we add on resistance, it gets a little bit harder, it gets a little bit tougher, and it should sort of feel like you're cycling up a steeper and steeper hill. That's how it should sort of feel. It's like those gears, you have to take it up. Resistance 1 is the lowest, resistance 4 is the heaviest, is the top one. So we've only got 4 main resistances, 1, 2, 3, 4, but you've also got little changes in between as well. And you don't need to worry about all of that too much for now. But during the warm-up and sort of during the class, I will talk to you about how it should sort of feel. But all you need to know for now is that 1 is the lowest, and that's what we're in right now. The other main metric we concentrate on here at Motosumo is your cadence. Of course it is. Now your cadence meter is the thing at the bottom of your screen. So if you look at the bottom of your screen right now, you can see a little semicircle and a number that keeps changing, and that's measured in RPM. That's revolutions per minute. It's basically how many times your feet go around in a circle. So the lower the number is, the slower you're going, the higher the number is, the higher you're going, or the faster you're going. And it's also color coordinated, so I can shout out a color to you as well to sort of hit. So I can either give you that color or that number. The last thing I want to think about is something you should be thinking about through the entire thing, anytime you're on a bike really, is your position. So you may think, obviously you know how to ride a bike, but I want you to sort of go through this little checklist with me so you know how to be riding. I want those elbows tucked in, a gentle bend in those arms. I want your shoulders rolled back, so your back is lovely and straight. You don't want to be elbows out, bent back like that. You want to have your chest up so you're able to breathe. With that, your core should be nice and engaged. So basically from your waist up, you should be relatively still. So you're not waving around, your elbows aren't out, you should be streamlined and engaged. And then you work your way down from the waist, and it's all about those legs. Pumping away, knees parallel, getting that full 360 motion going. So you're kicking out, pulling back, kicking out, pulling back, getting it all the way around there. Lovely stuff. I've just talked to you for a while, but we should be feeling good now. Let's start to pick up the pace. Let's start to get a little bit warmer, team. We're gonna head into that yellow zone. So yellow zone is 90 to 110. We're gonna go straight into a minute there. Let's start to get warm, team. Motosumo, 3, 2, 1, go. So 90 to 110. Somewhere in there, nice Gobi. Long, bring it up, hands, let's go. We're here for a minute, we're in a little push pace. This shouldn't feel like a max effort sprint, but it should feel like we're lifting that energy out, like we're pushing it a little bit. Nice, give me another 20 seconds there. See if you can push it on the drop. 3, 2, 1, go. Four, 3, 2, 1. We slow it down. Nice, slow it down. So we just pull back that pace. At no point do we stop completely. You always want to be sort of ticking over, especially when we're down in these lower resistances. You can allow your legs to keep moving that entire time. We're gonna go for that same thing again. It's gonna be another minute on the clock. You're just gonna sort of, again, clock onto the sort of cadence you're hitting. And especially when we go for that little extra push pace on the drop. Ready, 5, 4, Motosumo, pick it up, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Pick it up. 3, 2, 1. Add 5 onto RPM. Nice, Gorby. Three, 2, 1. Slow it down. So strong. Starting to get a little bit warmer now. Starting to feel good. We've only been hitting out that resistance 1 for the moment. So now we're going to work in between that resistance 1 and 2. We're going to start on resistance 1. We're going to build our way up. Remember, resistance 2 is our second resistance up. So it's still quite light, but there should be a definite difference between that 1 and 2. Gonna go for a 45-second. I've had 30 seconds in resistance 1, 15 seconds only in that resistance 2. Resistance 1, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Somewhere between about 95 and 105 for that resistance 1. Remember, for that final 15 seconds, we take it up to resistance 2, hitting about 90 to 100. Ready? Taking it up in 4, 3, 2, 1, resistance 2. Still try to keep it on those 90s. You should feel that jump up, feel that weight under those legs. 3, 2, 1, nice, rest. Oh yes. Now we're starting to feel it. So as a beginner class, we're gonna get a nice long rest. And we're also gonna take it down, back down to that resistance 1 as we start to move those legs once again. We're gonna do that same thing again. So really testing out that jump between that 1 and 2. And slow. You're all good there, getting those numbers, Gorby, smashing it out. We ready? So we enjoy this break. Because I want you to be ready, because I want you to be able to smash out that next bit. Same thing again, 30 seconds resistance 1, 15 seconds resistance 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! It's a big old song, isn't it? For quite early in a beginner class. Gets you revved up. Not bad for a Tuesday at lunchtime. I don't think. Oh, it's still late morning, I guess. Ready? Let's go on the job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resistance 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Good, rest there. Gonna take a nice little 30-second rest before we move on to your 1 minute in resistance 2. So we're gonna hold a resistance 2 for 1 minute. So it becomes a bit more about endurance rather than jumping up and smashing out a little sprint in that one. Now that we're starting to build up, especially when you head up into those high resistances, which we ain't doing quite yet, that's when you need to think about that form. That's when you need to lock into it in your head. Those elbows in, tucked in, a gentle bend in those arms. We get ready to go. 1 minute on the clock in that resistance 2, which we're already in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Nice, that 90 to 100 in that yellow zone. Nice, Corby. You got it. Four, 3, 2, 1. 30-second rest there. And we're gonna do the exact same thing again, but this time, we do it on a racetrack. What does that mean? I hear you ask. Basically, that means we put a lot more speed into it. So it's a big focus on speed. There's a big focus on maxing out that speed and power. It's gonna be another 1 minute, so it's gonna be technically exactly the same thing. But this time, I want you lifting it. This time I want you going for it because you put a little marker on the board now. We're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Yes, Colby. Ten seconds. Go on, Ants. Let's go, Colby. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest there. Oh, that was a good song for that. Rest there, keep those legs moving. In that resistance 2, Gorby smashing out that 461 meters. Always good to remember, especially when it's just like a resistance 2 1 minute sprint, to remember those numbers. Just have them, like lock them in there. And slow, you good? We're gonna go for something a little bit shorter. So we've been doing those sort of 1 minute pushes, and now we're gonna go for a bit of like interval work, working 30 seconds work 30 seconds rest. So it's a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, which means that you can really afford to give it because it's a decent amount of rest. So just so you know that, as we start to build up in that resistance, we're gonna go for 2 sprints in resistance 2, 2 sprints, resistance 3, 2 sprints, resistance 4. Hitting somewhere between 95 and 105 for 30. 3, 2, 1, go. This is resistance 2 to start with. Four, 3, 2, 1, 30-second rest. Now, rather than just doing a back-to-back, like exactly the same one, we're gonna add a tiny bit of resistance. So whatever that means to you, whatever sort of bike you have, we're just adding a tiny one. So we're not taking it all the way up to resistance 3 yet, just making it a little bit more. But your challenge is to stay on that same RPM. So whatever RPM you were holding that last time, with that little bit extra, I want you to hold the same thing again. 3, 2, 1, go! Three, 2, 1. Go away, those numbers. Sick. All right, take it up. So we're gonna find resistance 3. First time we're hitting resistance 3 today. So I want you to sort of find it and keep those legs moving. Feel how that feels in those legs. Anton, Lol, both of you smashing as well, I'm sure. 10 seconds time. First time in resistance 3, somewhere between about 80 and 90. Now it's heavier. Now it's tougher to move those legs around. Push face 3, 2, 1, go. Should really notice the difference between that resistance 2 and now this resistance 3. As the music takes a little turn, do, 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 do. 3, 2, 1, 30 rest. Okay, 30 rest. We do the same thing again, so you're gonna add a tiny bit. Whatever that means to you, just adding a tiny bit and you're aiming for that same number. So trying to maintain that same RPM that you hit up that last time. Remember, this recovery, as long as those legs are moving, I don't mind where you sit. 10 seconds, we go again for that round number 2. In 3, 2, 1, go! Four, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Another 30. First time in resistance 4. First time in resistance 4. Take it up there. Okay. So now we're trying to hit about 70 to 80. So you're dropping down again, and you should even feel in this recovery that you're having to like work your way on it. It's heavy, but it's the heaviest one. 70 to 80. 3, 2, 1, go. So really have to keep that core engaged, really have to keep it nice and tight to be able to drive it. Four, 3, 2, 1. Same again, same as we done before. Take it up there, but now we got 10 minutes left. Oi, shout out, if it's your first time team, when this bad boy comes up, when this fun little purple light comes up, it means you've got 10 minutes left. We've done 20 minutes already. We're into the little home straight. I say little home straight, you still got our final rounds left. But it's all good, don't you panic. Ready, 4, 3, same thing again, 2, 1, let's go. Remember, with that little addition, hitting that same number. Four, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds rest there. We're gonna stay in this resistance 4, and you know what we're gonna do? Stand it up. And what we do stood up, no, we're not gonna stand up for the whole minute. We're gonna do 30 seconds sat down, 30 seconds stood up. It is beginner class, so I want you to be aware that standing up is only an option. But if you wanna join me after that 30-second mark, we're out of the saddle, and you're gonna give me a nice little climb. Ready, 4, 3, sat down, 2, 1. 30 seconds sat down, about 70 to 80, then we stand it up, and we hit those 60s, stood up. Yes. Three, 2, 1. As the option, 60 to 70, hips hovering just over that seat, hollow the core out. Elbows nice and tucked in. Imagine you're climbing. Obviously, you're on your steepest hill. 10 seconds, another 30-second break coming up. 3, 2, 1, guys break. Love that. All right, we're gonna flip it. Flip the timing a bit. If you stood up last time, you're gonna stand up for the first 30 seconds and sit down for the next 30 seconds. We got that 30-second change once again. This time not on resistance, but in riding position. Standing up in 3, 2, 1, go. Sitting down, 3, 2, 1. Keep it going to the end. Nice score, be loving that number. Oh, you are smashing it today. Go on, Lon. 4, 3, 2, 1. 30-second rest. All we do now is we sort of work our way down through the resistances. So it's going to be another minute of work. 30 seconds resistance 4, 30 seconds resistance 3, and then we do the same between 3 and 2, and that is it. So you've actually only got 2 minutes of work left. 2. 30 seconds resistance 4, 30 seconds resistance 3. In 3, 2, 1, go! In those 70s, I tell you what, we've been in this resistance for a long time. Yes, lol. Whew. 10 seconds. We drop it down that little bit to resistance 3, we speed up. somewhere between about 80 to 90. 3, 2, 1. Oh, the freedom. The mist is gone. Big up, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final 30-second rest. Huge work. Now what we do is we hit up 30 seconds resistance 3, 30 seconds resistance 2, and bang, we fly. That's what it's all about. You ready? It's emoji time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final minute. Resistance 3 to resistance 2. It is maximum effort when we hit up that resistance 2. And you lot need to show me the meaning of speed. Yes, it's a beginner class, I'm aware, but if you want to fly, if you want to go for it, if you want to give me everything, you give me it as we come into that final track in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Resistance 2.
I know that feeling. I know
10.
that feeling.
Go, Gobi. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Unreal. Huge finish there. Big sprint. In resistance 0, so remember knocking off all that resistance, the one that we were at the beginning. Just take it down and keep those legs moving. Big thing in my class, if you've never done it before, fine, welcome. But what we do is we focus on your breath. So rather than either rushing off, rather than going straight into a stretch, I just sort of cool you down like mentally, as well as physically, of course. So I want you to take those big deep breaths in and out through your mouth. Again in. And out. And a final time in. Lean your head over to one side. Over to the other. Lean it forward. And up. Just roll your shoulders back for me 3 times. Really big shoulders releasing out any tension from that upper back. And then forward 3 times. And then stand it up for me. Push those heels down, hips back. Little wiggle out into that. Doing the same on the other side. Little wiggle out. Really feeling that stretch in that front hamstring, the front calf. Oh, lovely. From there, you're gonna grab your arms in front of you. Give me a nice little wiggle out into that. Then you can take your arms up. Over to one side. Yes. Over to the other side. Even better, bring it around into your center. Team, where you are done. That was unreal. That was wicked. Thank you for joining me. If it was your first time, Lord Gorby, or you've done it many, many times before, I want to say thank you so much and how much I appreciate it. You lot are absolute heroes, absolute legends. It's been my pleasure. Peace and love to you, team. Making sure you're clicking pause and save, because it'll be saved in your workout history. Making sure you're finding us on social media as well. Peace and love, team, and I'll see you in the next one.